This is Italian football lover channel, my friends. Today I want to make predictions. Match day 14 games of Serie A. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, and please click on the like button. Thank you so much. Let's start from the Sassuolo Fiorentina game. Fiorentina couldn't get any victory this season in Serie A. They're in so poor situation. Sassuolo State draw against 2-2 Pisa in last match at home. Before they lost against 2-1 Genoa at home. Sassuolo team won versus Atalanta 3-0 in away game, but they lost against Como 2-0 in last away game. In the last game, Sassuolo won against Fiorentina 1-0 at home. And this Fiorentina team, my dear friends, lost against 1-0 Lecce at home. They stick draw against 1-1 Juventus at home. Fiorentina lost against 3-0 Inter in away game. They lost against 2-0 Atalanta in last away game. They got back-to-back defeats in away games. This is going to be so challenging game. Maybe Fiorentina may get the first victory of the season, but I don't rely on Fiorentina at all. Because of that, my prediction is going to be draw for that game. Draw. Sassuolo 1, Fiorentina 1. And second game, Inter Como. Inter is going to be at home. And my dear friends, Inter lost against Milan in derby game 1-0, but Inter won versus Pisa 2-0 in last away game. Before Inter won versus 2-0 Lazio at home, they won against 3-0 Fiorentina at home. Inter is playing better at home. This Como team got just one defeat. Como is so strong and dangerous team. They won versus 2-0 Sassuolo at home. They stayed draw against Cagliari 0-0 at home. Como State draw against 0-0 Napoli in away game. Before they won against 5-1 Torino in last away game. In the last game, Inter won against Como 2-0 at home last season. This is going to be so challenging game, but just by one goal margin, I want to take a chance to Inter for victory. Inter 1, Como 0 is my prediction for this game. Another match, Verona-Atalanta. Verona is going to be at home. Verona couldn't get any victory in Serie A this season. They are in so hard relegation battle, my dear friends. Verona lost against 2-1 Inter at home. They lost against Parma 2-1 at home in the last game at home with same results. They got back-to-back defeats at home. Verona is in so poor situation. Before they lost against Como 3-1 in away game, my dear friends. And this Atalanta team won against 2-0 Fiorentina at home in the last game. After a long time, Atalanta got a victory in Serie A. But Atalanta team before lost against 3-0 Sassuolo at home. Atalanta team lost against 3-1 Napoli in last away game. Before they lost against Udinese 1-0 in away game. They got back-to-back defeats in away games. But last season Atalanta won against Verona 5-0 in away game, my dear friends. Atalanta has superiority against Verona. One more time, I want to take a chance to Atalanta for victory. Verona 0, Atalanta 2 is my prediction for this game. Cremonese Lecce, Cremonese is going down and down. They lost against 3-1 Roma in last match at home. Before they lost against 2-1 Juventus at home. Cremonese lost against Pisa 1-0 in away game, my dear friends. This Lecce team won against Fiorentina 1-0 in away game, but they lost against 2-0 Lazio in last away game. Lecce won versus 2-1 Torino in last match at home. Lecce is in little bit better situation than Cremonese in the recent games, my dear friends. But this time Cremonese will force Lecce at home. Because of that, draw is going to be my prediction. Draw. Cremonese 1, Lecce 1. And another game, Cagliari-Roma. Cagliari is going to be at home. Cagliari is in so poor situation, but they lost against Sassuolo 2-1 at home. They stayed draw against Genoa 3-3 in last match at home. This Roma team lost against 1-0 Napoli in last match at home. It was frustrating defeat for Roma team, but Roma won versus 3-1 Cremonese in last away game. Before Roma lost against 1-0 Milan in away game, my dear friends. This is going to be a little bit hard clash, but Roma is stronger and better team than Cagliari in every way. Because of that, I want to take a chance to Roma for victory. Cagliari 1, Roma 2 is my prediction for this game. Lazio, Bologna. Lazio is going to be at home. Last season, they won against Bologna 3-0 at home. Lazio won versus 2-0 Cagliari and Lecce in the recent two games at home. Lazio team at the same time lost against 1-0 Milan in last away game. Bologna is going on perfect this season. It's so hard to beat over this Bologna team. But Bologna won against won against 2-0 Napoli at home. They won versus 3-1 Parma in away game. They won against 3-0 Udinese in last away game. My dear friends, this is going to be so challenging match. Lazio is seeming a little bit closer to victory than Bologna, but in my opinion, this game will end up in draw. Lazio 2, Bologna 2. And another game, Napoli Juventus. Napoli is going to be at home. Napoli is playing for the title. Juventus is in a bad situation in my opinion, but they won versus 2-1 Cagliari in last match at home. Juventus stayed draw against Fiorentina 1-1 in last away game. Before they won versus 2-1 Cremonese in away game. Napoli stayed draw against 0-0 Como at home. They won versus 3-1 Atalanta in last match at home. Again Napoli won versus strong opponent Roma 1-0 in last away game. Last season Napoli won against Juventus 2-1 at home. So hard clash is awaiting us, my dear friends. Draw is possible and draw is probable in that match, but with home advantage and with their quality, just by 1 goal margin, I want to take a chance to Napoli for victory. Napoli 2, Juventus 1 is my prediction for this game. Pisa Parma, Pisa is so resistant team at home, but they lost against 2-0 Inter in last match at home before they won versus 1-0 Cremonese at home, my dear friends. And at the same time, this Parma team won versus Verona 2-1 in last away game, but before they lost against 2-1 Roma in away game. This Parma team, Parma lost against Udinese 2-0 in last match at home, my dear friends. And at the same time, before Pisa team stayed draw against 2-2 Torino at home before at the same time. So hard game is awaiting us. In the recent game, Parma won against Pisa 2-1 in away game, my dear friends. I feel in that way this game will end up in draw. Draw is my prediction. Pisa 1, Parma 1. And Udinese Genoa. Udinese is going to be at home, but they lost against 3-0 Bologna in last match at home. And my dear friends, Udinese won versus 2-0 Parma in last away game. Before Udinese team won against 1-0 Atalanta at home. Udinese sometimes is playing better at home, and Genoa team won versus 2-0 Sassuolo in away game. Genoa stayed draw against 2-2 Fiorentina at home. They won versus 2-1 Verona in last match at home. This Genoa team, my dear friends. And so hard clash is awaiting us, my dear friends. Last season Genoa won against Udinese 2-0 in away game, as I remember. Draw is possible and draw is probable in that match. Please don't forget that, my dear friends. But with home advantage, I want to take a chance to Udinese for victory. Udinese 2, Genoa 1 is my prediction for this game. Torino-Milan, this is the last match of the week. Torino is going down and down. They are in so poor situation. They lost against 2-1 Lecce in last away game. They lost against 5-1 Como in last match at home. Before they stayed draw against 2-2 Pisa at home. Milan stayed draw against 2-2 Parma in away game. They won versus 1-0 Milan in big derby, Inter Milan. Milan won against Inter Milan in big clash, big derby game against Inter 1-0. Again Milan won against Lazio 1-0 in last match at home. Milan has so strong team defense. They got the victories 1-0 back to back, my dear friends. This is going to be so challenging game. Last season Torino won against Milan 2-1 at home. But under these circumstances, this time Milan will win over against Torino. Torino 1, Milan 2 is my prediction for this game. All my predictions like this for match day 14 games of Serie A. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, and please click on the like button. That makes me so glad. See you on my next videos, my dear friends. Bye!